Good talk, good music. It's Radio Dunedin with Tracy Chambers. And as I have mentioned a little earlier, we have a documentary coming out about Radio Dunedin. It's been going for quite some time, so there's a lot of things been happening. And it's coming out very soon, and I'm very lucky because I have he's the director, he's the everything of this Radio Dunedin documentary. It's Grant Findlay. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you going?
Fantastic. I'm very excited about this because, of course, I've been around for just a couple of years from Radio Dunedin, so it sort of means a lot to me, like Radio Dunedin gets in your blood, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. First of all, when can we see it?
Well, the premiere is the 20th of September, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. at Rialto Cinemas in town there, yeah.
And we can get tickets easy?
Yeah, you can get on the Rialto website, or you can just go to the box office and pick up a ticket for that night there. It's going to be a great night with a lot of the old announcers coming back for it. We've got Ewing Stevens, who started on Radio New Zealand way back when he was a teenager. He's coming back for it, so it'll be great.
Fantastic. As I was just going to say, so all the stars will be there on the opening night, so that's definitely the one to get along to if you can. So how long did this take to make? Quite some time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, quite a while. I've never done anything like this before, so I was probably a little bit naive, and I don't know whether I would tackle something like this again. I started in 2015, so it's been a couple of years now that I've been immersed in the world of Radio Dunedin, really. So yeah. Yeah,
so a bit of time. Worth it?
Yeah. I think it's worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be received well and people will love it, yeah.
It's great to tell the story because, 1922 Radio Dunedin kicked off, and that's a good many of years to have a lot of things happening. And we're going to talk about a bit of the behind the scenes a little bit later on. Now, Radio Dunedin's a funny thing because it's not just a radio station, it's a real community station, and the listeners are so incredibly loyal and they're not afraid to tell you if something's happening that they're not overly happy with. Did you find that a lot of those stories were coming out?
Yeah, the thing with this is that I just let the people speak, like they wanted to tell their stories, so I pretty much just set up a camera and just had a chat, like they do on Radio Dunedin, So, a lot of amazing stories came out, and you just felt the passion of these listeners, and also the passion of the announcers who turn up, day after day and do their thing on the station, Like, I sort of call it a historical doco with heart.
Nice.
So, yeah, you've sort of got your whole history there, going back to 1922 and how a passionate group of people got together and started the station, and then 95 years of history, and it's still going.
Here.
Yeah,
it's a great story. It's going to be fantastic to watch. Now, we aren't finished yet. We are going to come back and talk with Grant some more because I want to know a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So we'll do that next on Radio Dunedin. And welcome back, Grant. Now, I want to talk about the behind the scenes stuff, but first of all, when you were making this, I'm imagining it wasn't just a smooth old road to get this made. Did you come up against anything that sort of put the brakes on for a bit?
Well, yeah. Actually making the thing, putting it together, filming it and writing it and stuff, that was sort of almost the easiest part in the whole process. But, yeah, we had things like just all the admin around it, like sorting out the music rights and things like that I never even thought about. So that's taken quite a long time to get all that side of it sorted out. And we've got some beautiful local artists, like we've got Melissa Partridge and Dave Colclough. Nice. I think that's how you say his name.
We'll go with that.
So they've come to the party and got some cool local music in there as well.
Oh,
so,
fantastic.
Yeah,
well, there you go. Okay, Radio Dunedin. It's been going for a long time. There's been a lot of announcers coming and going and still here. There's a lot of volunteers, and then there's a lot of other people behind the scenes. Now, like any big family, because this is what it is, we don't always get on. We sometimes have our arguments. So what I'm trying to find out here, is there any scandal going to come out of this, Grant?
There's a few sort of things throughout the history where, you've got as you say, presenters clashing. When the station was bought by MediaWorks and went commercial, there was a bit of friction there with the Otago Radio Association and some of the old school announcers. They weren't too sure about the move to commercial. So yeah, there's a little bit of conflict there, and even today there's been sort of some modern day dramas going on that you'll have to go in and have a look.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be one of those things that if you've ever had anything to do with Radio Dunedin, be it listening, be it working on it, or just because it's iconic in Dunedin, the longest running radio station. I mean, that alone. Get along, see this movie. It's happening when? When does it kick off?
The 20th of September, Wednesday, 8 p.m. at Rialto. And you've got to get to the cinema to see this, because this one, chances are it won't make it to DVD, so you've got to come and watch it. Okay, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll say well done. I haven't seen it, but I can just imagine it's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. Get along to the premiere, though, because that's where all the stars are going to be. Take your pens, your shirts, get signatures. It's going to be all good, but get along to Rialto Cinemas. Thank you once again, Grant, thanks for putting it together. Cheers.
Founded in 1922, Radio Dunedin has been on quite the journey of ups and downs. But at its heart, there has always been a team of passionate and dedicated volunteers and listeners.
It's part of the city, it's part of community, it's a friend.
Now a documentary of the same name, Radio Dunedin tells the story of its announcers and staff, arson attempts, technical issues and other bumps in the road, on its road to where it is today.
It's the oldest radio station in New Zealand. It wasn't the first to start, but it's, as the BBC said once, it's the longest lived.
Don't miss this charming look at the history of Radio Dunedin and the people involved in this local, iconic radio station. Radio Dunedin, screening at Rialto Cinemas from Thursday, September the 21st.